So we've started to put some instructions together and then level tracking. So these would go on your character card so you can track those. And this is something that has to be like really cheap to print lots of. So it's black and white, simple. These tokens are optional, as you could use pencil and paper to track gold and stuff. But these are not really optional. So all the little camp tokens. I feel like it's pretty easy to know where to cut. But I'm going to have some instructions on that. I was going to do red lines, but it's kind of ugly and hard to remove when you're cutting stuff. And I want to do a video of me actually printing this and cutting it out, because that if everyone else has to do it that is going to be doing it, then I should do it too. Oh yes, what I was doing here was kind of have a little example where it'll point to it so you know exactly what a token separates the tokens, even though it's pretty obvious, but the clearer the better. There's lots of pages and lots of work to do. I've got most of the world is chopped up here, and I have some example small maps. But getting the instructions clear is going to be the tricky part, because yeah, anytime you're writing instructions for somebody to do something, some physical steps of assembly, language isn't that good. So I might do a English version here and then like a kind of picturesque version, iconic version here, so that it's easy to assemble. And I've started to put the characters, so there's two characters to a sheet. This print and plays should work with A4 and letter, but I'm going to do some testing, just because that would be the most common paper sizes people would use, is letter and A4, depending where you are. I have plenty of margin. These are letter-sized art boards, but I have plenty of margin around, so we'll do some testing with A4 paper as well. Worst case, I make a separate document for different formats. And I have to go ahead and just start cropping things. So I've already set up these sort of templates, so it's really easy for me to plop them on and mask them. I've set up all these templates, so all I have to do really is center them in. And this is a lot of the kind of fun stuff that you got to do when you make a board game. And it takes hours and hours. And it's all for a good cause, because I want people to be able to access the game. Any backer that put at least $5 into the campaign, I really appreciate that. And honestly, if you couldn't afford $5, then I would just give you the PDF, because I think the game is a lot of fun to play, and I want you to be able to play it even if you if you can't afford $5, then that is okay. Shouldn't be discriminated upon. Oh yeah, put this one over here. I have a kind of a color coding system that's like from left to right, it kind of goes. I just made these rectangles different colors so I could easily identify them when I look at the thumbnails. Looks good. And then, of course, once we have these page, this background template out there, it looks pretty clean. So it'll be really clear where you cut the sheets. There we go. We've done 6 characters. The other thing I'm working on, other than the character cutouts, is well, I guess we've done 12 characters, 6 sheets. Is all the other cards. So first I've got to lay them out like this. And then again, I've got to drop them in. Just notice the order of the files is like a diagonal. It's like boop, 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 boop. Yeah, so there you have it. The cropping is good because then you can fit 8 cards to a sheet. But there's still plenty of margin. I'm also trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone to cut out and use. Like try to fit as many things as I can on a page, because we're already looking at how many pages do I have here? 45 minus 2, 43. And this also doesn't have card backs except for one of them, because most printers don't have very good front to back replication, like precision that way. And it's just a lot of work and a lot of ink for people to be printing card backs. So you can use card sleeves. And I just have one card back on here so that you can identify your deck if you put it beside the deck, or however you want to do it. So let's import some items. Boop. And creatures. Looks good. Order doesn't really matter, but we gotta line them up here. So I'm using this gray piece to line up where the card goes. For those not familiar, I'm using Affinity Designer, which is similar to Adobe Illustrator, but it's not a subscription service. It's my favorite model of things, which is you pay for it and you get it to use it, instead of you have to pay every month to get it. And Affinity does most things Illustrator does, but it does lack some things like automatic vector tracing and stuff that I don't currently use. But it does a lot of stuff like symbols, where like this background page is all linked to all the other ones. So I can control them all at once. And like it does standard vector stuff, like the ability to just distribute objects evenly. And you can assign keyboard shortcuts to everything, which makes it fast to do certain things. Like earlier, I had to center a whole bunch of things. So I just set a keyboard shortcut and I can just center it on the canvas. When you have 100 things, 100, 200 things to do, it makes it really fast. Oh, hang on. Doesn't look like anybody's watching, but I find streaming fast and easy. I don't have time to do video editing right now. So you get the raw, unfiltered experience. I might edit it a little bit just to trim the ends, or the bits that are me doing nothing. So there we go. Those items just put out there, but again, they still have to go into these crop boxes, because otherwise you don't know where to cut and stuff like that. So we start at the bottom, go up in a diagonal. across. Nope. A behind the scenes look at board game production. Nope. I'm all out of whack here. Okay. All right. We're making headway. So I would love to hear feedback about the board map. So I'll just explain what we've got going on here. So you're going to cut out 6 pieces. This is the top left or the northwest piece. And you can either, there's no margin between pieces, so you can see that 0 there. And then you can see 0 up here. Oh, I can annotate with Zoom, that's right. Look, nice. How do you erase it? There we go. So there's no margin between them. So they have to be mounted to the back piece or taped together on the back. I don't want margins because if you use cardstock, which I recommend to make a nice thick board, you don't want to overlap. It makes it all bulgy. And then with 6 pieces, you're going to have 3 lines going across your map with big bulges. So there's no margin. You just have to cut it, hopefully with a paper cutter if you have access to one. If not, a craft knife if you have access to one. If not, then a really good scissors skills. Cut a nice straight line along and then butt them up against each other. But yeah, I would love to hear feedback from, especially from backers, if you have any. To fit everything, I'm only including 2 quick reference cards. I feel like it's enough. The printed game comes with 3, but I mean, they're easy to share. They're cards, so. These, to show you how these work, let's just paste it over. You're basically gonna take the printed sheets and just drop them on top like that. They fit perfectly. So you can track your 6 levels. You can also have the originals shown there or like this. So you would write these numbers at the top and cover it over. And then as you level up, just add more numbers. And this is going to bother me. I just realized that these aren't evenly spaced. This is going to bother a lot of people. So we're just going to take these horizontal lines and think I had set intervals for them. It was at 1/4 inch. Seems bigger than that. So our background is 525 pixels, and I need 7 boxes. That's 75 pixels. At 300 DPI, that's 1/4 inch. And let's just distribute. I'm in pixel mode. There we go. Distribute. There we go. Math and magic. That looks good. There. Now nobody's going to lose their mind over, well, mainly me. And the great thing is I've got them as linked symbols. So I fixed that one. I fixed all of them. Happy to help if anyone's questions about that. Who uses Affinity Designer? I'm planning to make a card making tutorial, which will go over things like symbols, artboards, stuff like that. General card making tips. I feel like getting these characters done, so let's do that. Little things are nice. The little things in life. If I just hover over, it shows a preview before it actually applies it. All right, start with red. I was going to try to share music in the background. I can add music later. But I can whistle for you. Looks good. Very nice. A lot of the times I like to align at 1 and then use the alignment tools. Just makes everything faster. Nope. Yep. Okay, characters are complete. This character has a couple of allies which just have to go into the next page. Let's finish this column. In groups of 4 or 8. 8. Okay, this is a fun trick. If you're still watching, you can, let's use the top one. Make sure it's set for alignment. And then we grab all these, move all of them over. Yep. Because I have all the artboards lined up. So and then we can distribute them. Very nice. All right, I think I'll put a pin in it right there. I have to finish this column cropping, and I got to get all the quests out, the rest of these creatures. And we have almost a complete printed play. Just got to get some more instructions on here, and we should be ready to send it out in June and get some more stuff on this page and whatnot. The other work in progress is the quest cards, which I've left some blank. Oh, this is actually the wrong file. Quests. Incomplete. So keep sending in your quest ideas. I've had a few that I haven't gotten onto cards yet, but we've had some really, really fun ideas come through, which are all from backers. And your name gets right on there, or whatever name you want to be on there. And it's a lot of fun. You can permanently get your name in the game, get your idea in the game. It can be based on something that already exists. Doesn't matter. You can base it on whatever you want. Existing books, movies, whatever you like. So hopefully that gave you a little glimpse into the behind the scenes of my Kickstarter campaign. And have a great night. I actually have a lot more work to do, so you can leave now. I mean, you could stay if you want, but I'm